follower of the channel, you know that this is not the Hemi Studebaker you've been tuning in to see built. This is something completely different. It also is a 1950 Studebaker, but this is getting no Hemi, and it ain't all-wheel drive either. Let's take a closer look at the underpinnings of this new build that I'm doing for a very good friend. Check it out.
So what exactly do we have here? We've got a Fatman Fabrications chassis that was built specifically to sit this body on top of. So they had this body in their shop and they literally fabricated this chassis around this body. So there's no altering of the wheel arches, there's no cheating. This thing was done properly. It has a 4-link rear, it's got a Ford 9-inch. It has Willwood disc brakes on all 4 corners. There's a whole pile of new parts that came with this build. So take a look underneath. You're not going to believe what you're seeing. This is the real deal, fellas. Adjustable coilovers, anti-roll bars. This is it, man. Let's build it.
Most of you guys know from watching this channel that this is not your typical Hemi body swap old truck down on a Durango chassis. And kind of, it's good, right? Because those are getting a bit long in the tooth, if you know what I mean. This is completely different. And it was brought to me by a friend of mine who has this chassis. It's made specifically for this truck. It's not a out-of-the-box custom chassis that you found that would work. He had it made specifically for this. And we talked about it. We thought it'd be good for the channel if I was lucky enough to put it together. What's going to go inside of it? What engine? Well, this one. It's not here yet. It's on the way. And it's going to be a brand new Ford modular Coyote engine and 6R80 trans. And if you look at some of the other videos, you'll see that I've done those in those older trucks. So this is kind of the perfect match or the perfect mix of both of these things. And we're pretty excited about it. So let's take a look inside what challenges I'm going to have. And we'll take a look at some of the pieces that are already here and ready to go. So this is going to be a good one. This truck was originally found on eBay. And he got a screaming deal on it. It's so solid, and it's the short bed model, which is super cool. The one that I'm doing in the other videos with the Hemi, the body swap, that one's a long bed, and honestly, it looks like it's in pretty good shape, but this one's in way better shape. Very little rust on the bottom, that's about it. This truck is gonna be great. Now, I got a lot of work ahead of me. The engine and transmission are gonna sit pretty far into this cab. So there's quite a bit of fab work, and as soon as the engine and trans comes, I'm going to drop it in and we're going to start sizing it up. Also, if you remember in the other videos, this dash cluster on his truck was missing, and for some unknown reason I saved it out of the Studebaker I'm building. So we're going to use it. The one out of my truck is going in his truck, and that's awesome.
How can you look at all 4 corners that have drilled and slotted rotors, Willwood disc brakes on all 4 corners, adjustable coilovers, a 4-link rear, a powder-coated frame, a Ford 9-inch? You just can't get any better than this stuff.
Yeah, you remember this thing? Well, obviously we're not going to be able to retain the shape of this because the new gauges, they're nothing like that. What we're going to have are 3 circles, but the contour of this binnacle matches the contours that are in the truck already, so it's important, and he was happy to know that I had this and I saved it. I think he was watching the channel. But at any rate, take a look at what we got here. Classic Instruments, look at that. When I incorporate these into that bezel, it's going to be out of control cool. Something else that's awesome, and you probably didn't notice from the other shots of this chassis, but the brake booster is mounted underneath on the frame rail like a typical hot rod. So I have extra room inside the engine bay to move the engine whichever way I want. The mounts are actually already in. I want to say who built it, because I'd love to say that I built that chassis, but clearly I don't have a frame rack or jigs or any of that stuff in this garage. It was built by Fatman Fabrications out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and the workmanship is stellar. I'm stoked because a brake booster on the frame rail is where they belong on a hot rod, and I have all the parts to put that together. One of the other awesome things, I get to choose the location and the type of the steering column, but they've already found this wheel that matches the classic lines of the new gauges and the interior he's going to have. I'm super stoked that this truck's going together like this, and I feel fortunate to be the one to put it together. It's awesome. See what else we got in here. He brought me a bunch of stuff, and we talked for hours about this truck and all the details. He told me what was in here, and honestly, I don't even remember what he said. We'll find out. Let me see here. Oh. It's too heavy to pick up. This is actually an undercoating, a sound deadening undercoating that we're going to spray. All right, I'll pick it up. Gee whiz. Yeah, lizard skin makes it. So it's a sound deadening and a insulative properties spray that we're going to go underneath inside the doors. He wants a quiet truck, which being from 1950, I don't know how quiet it's going to be, but I'm going to do the best I can. What do we got here? Oh, really nice. Got some lights, hot rod lights already. That's cool. Door pulls. Looks like he found some new old stock somewhere. Got a separate tack. And it's another 5-gallon bucket of heavy stuff. I'm not picking it up. It's probably an undercoating spray because we're at the early stages of this build. So pretty much it's a lot of fab work. I think the next installment on this video, you can keep watching the channel, but I won't film again on this one until the engine and transmission have arrived and we can start putting it in. So I want you to stay tuned to the channel. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share everywhere you see fit. And this is going to be probably the baddest ass hot rod I've built to date. So stay tuned. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.